Hi team, this is our director training for our new enhanced compensation plan with Color Street, which is effective April 1st of 2022. And we're going to discuss the new parameters of this level. If you'd like to pause and take a look at our earnings statement. Next, our key terms. Again, I know we're talking mostly to senior team leaders heading into the director level at this stage of training. So I know most of you are pretty familiar with these key terms. However, if you need a refresher, there are a couple of capped group volume videos out there that I know will be helpful, and I will be sure to include those in our team pages as well. So if you need any reminders of how capped group volume works, we'll make sure that we have clarified. I'm going to include this slide as well if you'd like to pause or take a screenshot. As we're heading into the higher levels, all of the levels that we're talking about consist of all of these ranks somewhere in your lineage, or all of these ranks come together to build the next rank. So just in case you need a refresher, you could always refer back to that slide. So here is the director slide for the new compensation plan. Just like senior team leader, we've included everything you need on one page here. You've got the requirements broken down here. Again, you as the director will need 300 or more in PV. Together with your downline, you'll need 17,000 or more in capped group volume. You will need one team leader leg, which again, as you can see here, consists of one team builder and two senior stylist legs. So if you need to take a break, go back and watch those videos. They're very short and easy to follow. So, if you get confused at all on what this means, go back and take a look, as well as 3 elite stylist legs. And just like the rank before, what I love about the elite stylist level is that you can do it all on your own. If you're a stylist or you have a stylist who's selling 1,250 or more in GV or PV, that will work as an elite stylist. And elite stylists do not have capped group volume requirements yet. That's why they can do it by themselves. They can do it with one teammate. They can do it with 10 teammates, as long as the elite stylist themselves is personally selling 300 or more in PV, and together with their teams, they have 1,250 or more. But again, what we love most about that is that they can do it on their own. So if you have someone who is selling this level every month, they are automatically by default an elite stylist. Another thing I really love about our new compensation plan is that the leg requirements max out at 4 legs. Of course, as you develop further into the plan, you will see the benefits of building wider and even deeper within your current lineage. However, there's never a time in this new plan that you have to have more than 4 legs. And I think that's important to note, especially for those of you who've been here a while and are having to make adjustments to how we think about and prepare ourselves for rank promotions on this new plan. What you receive as a director is 7%, 6%, 4, 3, and 2 on levels 1 through 5, as you can see here in our table. You also receive a generation bonus. Generations, this starts to bring in a whole new part of our compensation plan that in the old plan, we weren't really having to discuss at this stage of the rank advancements. So this can be a little tricky, but I'm going to do my best to try to explain it as simply as possible. So what a generation override is, if you are a director or above and you have a senior team leader leg or above, you are qualified to receive an additional 2% override on their entire team volume, as long as there's not another senior team leader down in that lineage, which we all do a generation training just to discuss how generations work, how you could calculate them, how they pay out, etc. that would be a great training for any one of you to tune into once we have that posted to YouTube and on the team pages. But in the meantime, in its most simplest form, when you have a senior team leader or above leg, you can and you are qualified, paid as a director or above, you can start receiving generation overrides on that leg. Again, I know it's a little confusing because most of us haven't had to really think about that at the 17,000 in capped group volume level in the past. But this right here, in my opinion, is going to be one of the most critical parts for leaders starting at the director and above level to understand. And in my opinion, it's really important that you get very comfortable with the language of generations, because the power of generational overrides is so incredible. And I can't wait for you all to start seeing it and how it's calculated. Now, the reason why we're not going to get too far into generation bonuses at the director level is because, again, to receive a generation override, you have to be qualified as a director and have a leg that's qualified at senior team leader or above. And as you can see here, at director level, there is no requirement to have a senior team leader yet. So again, like some of our other bonus structures, this particular generation override at the director level is going to reward directors and their teams who are going above and beyond the minimum requirement of this level, which would be your strongest leg at the team leader level. So again, just because you are a director, qualified, paid as director, doesn't necessarily mean that you have a senior team leader leg yet to receive this override. However, what it does mean is that as soon as you help develop this team leader into a senior team leader, et cetera, you can start dipping into these generation overrides. And I think you're going to be very pleased with what you see and how this starts to add up. Additionally, as you can see, the bare minimum requirement of this rank is only 3 levels deep, but we pay out up to 5 levels because, again, even though you might have this perfect structure, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have the 17,000 in capped group volume that you need. So like the senior team leader level, the most critical part of the director level is going to be partnering with people who you love working with, who love doing this job, and that you can share in your resources with and, you know, your trainings with, et cetera. But also, you know, the 17,000 in capped group volume is going to require a primary focus on expanding sales and growing sales in a balanced manner, meaning your 17,000, obviously, with the capped group volume rule, can't come from one strong leg. It has to be balanced somehow outside of your strongest leg to include your own group volume and personal volume. So as you can see here, it is a pretty simple structure in terms of following it or mapping it. However, the capped group volume is likely going to require you to have more than these exact legs. Chances are you'll end up with some more width or additional depth to make up this 17,000 in capped group volume. But still, it's important to note that in terms of specific people in specific spots, there is only 4 legs required here. Okay. Like the last trainings before, we've also included a checkbox here that you can use to help with your mapping. If you all have if you're a seasoned stylist and you've gotten familiar with using our clever little button in the virtual office that tells you what you need next to get to the next level, there's nothing wrong with that. I love that button. I love that it breaks down exactly what you need. It shows you in real time as you accomplish what you need. However, what it doesn't do is give you like the actual visual of your team lineage and your structure. And it is my opinion that mapping, like handwriting a map, is an invaluable skill to have at this level moving forward. So I would encourage every single one of you at the level of senior team leader trying to accomplish the next level of director, or those of you in the even higher ranks who are supporting your team to achieve the level of director, to pull out those physical maps and get to work on mapping, learning to map, visually seeing where you have teams and what types of volume they're achieving is one of the most important things you can do to help create the strategy and a system for how you're going to build moving forward. Like the levels that came before director, you don't necessarily have to have the elite stylist as your level 1 or the team leader as your level 1. If, for example, you had 3 levels of stylists here who were not active, and then your 4th level was an elite stylist, this whole leg would count as an elite stylist leg. So that is important to note. You're always paid on the strongest promotion in each leg, but you can only count 1 promotion from a leg. So if you had an elite stylist here and a team leader here, this whole leg would be considered a team leader leg rather than a team leader and an elite stylist leg. So I think that's important to note as well. So if you are at the director level, I would also be printing team leader and senior team leader maps for the stronger legs that you're working with, so that, again, you can visualize what they need in order to accomplish their goals, whatever they may be, and so that you can visually see what you may be missing in order to accomplish this level. For the most part, like we said, it's going to be capped group volume, which means increasing globally our sales, and as leaders working toward ensuring that the teams feel confident and comfortable with how they're going to go out and sell our product in the world. So I think that's really important. So that's really all for this director level. If you need any further explanation, please don't hesitate to let me know. As we go through the additional levels from here, we're going to have to refer back to generation bonus trainings so that you all feel confident in how to calculate this. But doing the mapping also gives you a visual where you can see, okay, I know I make 7% on all my level 1s. So if this map is true to the levels that these ranks fall under, then all 4 of these people, or, you know, these leaders here, I would be receiving 7% of their personal sales. So their PV, not their GV, their PV. And then the same for level 2. Level 2, I would be receiving 6% of their PV and 4% of level 3's PV. So even though I'm not required to have a level 4 or 5, there's certainly an incentive to continuing to help your team grow in that way, and also to create backups within your lineage for each of the levels you need in order to achieve director. So again, I hope this is helpful. I am so excited for this level specifically on the new plan, because at 17,000 in capped group volume with the necessary legs required, you're going to have the opportunity to start building toward generation overrides, which in my opinion are one of the most impactful features of this new compensation plan, or truly of any plan, where you have the ability to help develop a leader leg and then start to receive a global percentage on their entire team volume, assuming that they're the only senior team leader in that leg. So we'll get into that a little bit more as we go, but for now, if you need to, please feel free to go back and look at the qualified stylist, senior stylist, team builder, team leader, and elite stylist videos so that you can refamiliarize with what is needed at those levels if you get thrown off at all by what we mean by these legs. So thanks for tuning in. I'm excited to see everything that you all accomplish on this new plan, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let me know if you need any help. Thank you.